Until now, we've been primarily looking at the places and the ties in a sentence. And now, today, we're ready to continue and to begin to look at phrases. A sentence really isn't made by stringing words together, just one word follows the next. Sentences are actually formed by first putting words or phrases together and then putting phrases in places. So actually, we need to decide what exactly are the phrases that we're working with and to be able to recognize them and identify them. So we can say a phrase is any constituent, and that really means a phrase is part of a sentence. Usually it means that that part of a sentence is found in one place. So generally we could say that when you have one place in a sentence, you have one phrase filling that place. Now, a phrase can be a single word, or it can be a group of words that function or work together. Phrases are named according to the most important word in the phrase, and we call that most important word the head. So 6 different phrases can be found in the why place, and that's what we're talking about. What kind of phrases can you find in why? The first phrase we can find is called a noun phrase. Now, a noun phrase can be a single word, a single noun, or it can be a noun together with all of its modifiers. For example, the following are all noun phrases because book is the head. So, for example, book is a noun phrase, and so is your book. Your old book is also a noun phrase, and so is your old red book. Your old red telephone book is a noun phrase because when we look at that group of words, the most important word is book, and book is a noun. Your old red telephone book filled with friends' names and numbers, it looks like, gee, it's almost as long as a sentence, but actually it's a noun phrase because it names a noun. Book is the head. And that could be a why, for example. Or I could say, that is your old red telephone book filled with friends' names and numbers. So let's move on. A noun phrase can be one word or it can be a whole bunch of words, but we name it according to the most important word. When that most important word is a noun, it's a noun phrase. Let's continue. The next kind of phrase we have in English is called an adjective phrase. So for example, an adjective phrase can be one word, like for example, hot. But very hot is also an adjective phrase because hot is the head of that phrase. It's the most important word. Too hot to eat is also an adjective phrase because the most important word in that phrase is hot, and hot is an adjective. Now, very often people aren't really sure, and you may want to explain to somebody one day, well, how do I recognize a noun or an adjective? It's not that easy. And the truth is sometimes it really isn't that easy. But an interesting thing is that when you have a noun, you can put the word the before it. So you can say the book, but you couldn't say the hot. Because hot is an adjective, and in front of adjectives, we can always put the word very. So very can go before an adjective, the can go before a noun, and when you have a little problem deciding, do I have a noun or an adjective, try using the and very to help you decide. So those are our first 2 phrases, noun phrases, adjective phrases. Let's continue. The next phrase we have in English is called a prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase is a group of words and it's a group of words that begins with a preposition. The following are all prepositions: on, in, over, under, below, between, beside, into, from, with, next to, at. I'm sure you could add some more: off, between, among, behind. There's quite a number of prepositions. It's not a huge number, but there's more than what we have right here. Now, a group of words that begins with a preposition is called a prepositional phrase. So the following are all prepositional phrases, and we'll mark them as PP. So for example, into the parking lot is a prepositional phrase. On a soft chair is a prepositional phrase. Over the mountain is a prepositional phrase. These are all prepositional phrases because the preposition is the head. It's the most important word in that phrase. Now, our fourth kind of phrase in English is called a verb phrase with time. A verb phrase with time, and we abbreviate it with VPWT, begins with the no s, s, or past forms of a verb together with all the other words in the y place. So for example, the following underlined phrases are all verb phrases with time. She sleeps. The y portion of that sentence, sleeps, has the s form. It's a verb phrase with time, and really we're saying it's a verb phrase with time because that verb ties with time. Sleeps ties with the present. We make scrambled eggs. Make scrambled eggs is y, and the head is the verb make. Make is the no s form. The no s form ties with the present. This is a verb phrase with time. They park the car in the garage. I use this to talk about the past. Parked is the past form. The past form ties with a definite time in the past, so we say this is a verb phrase with time. A verb phrase in the y place will be headed by a verb, and then it's all the other words that are in the y place together with it. Our fifth phrase in English is called a verb phrase with no time. So for example, a verb phrase with no time begins with the base form, ing or dtn form of a verb together with the remaining words in the y place. All of the following underlined phrases are verb phrases with no time. We do not like plasma TVs. We is the subject, the X word is do, not is the M word. Like plasma TVs is in the Y. Like is the base form. Like plasma TVs is a verb phrase with no time. We say it's a verb phrase with no time because do ties with the present. Like plasma TVs doesn't tie with time. Jan was talking to a friend. Jan is the subject. Was is the X word. Talking to a friend is the Y. Talking to a friend, talking is the ing form. Talking to a friend is a verb phrase with no time. Was ties with the past. Talking ties with the X word. They have already gone. Have is the X word. Already is the M word. Gone is in the Y. Gone is a DTN form. Gone is a verb phrase with no time. She has eaten a very large dinner. Has is the X word. Eaten a very large dinner is Y. It's headed with the DTN form eaten. This is a verb phrase with no time. Those are the 5 first phrases of English. The biggest phrase of English is actually a trunk or a sentence. A sentence is a group of words we can change to a yes or no question. A sentence has a subject, it has a predicate, it may also have shifters. A trunk, on the other hand, is a sentence. It has a subject and a predicate, but a trunk has no shifters. A trunk is just the subject and a predicate, and that is the largest single phrase of English. A trunk contains a subject and a predicate. For example, the following sentences are trunks. You need to make some vacation plans. You is the subject. Need to make some vacation plans is the predicate. Global warming is only one of our planet's problems. Global warming is the subject. Is only one of our planet's problems is the predicate. Those are trunks. That's our introduction to the 6 phrases of English. What we're going to do next is we're going to go back and we're going to analyze some more sentences. And this time when we're done, we're going to also give a name to the phrase that we find in the why place. So you can see each time we add just another 1 or 2 things to our analysis. When you're ready, maybe you want to view this again, think about it a little bit, and when you're ready, please continue on to Lesson 6, Part C.